Oh, we can do that. You can introduce me, I'll introduce you.
So hi, my name's Denia.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and we're Books and Buns. And today on this video, we're gonna talk about a book that is very dear to our heart.
Yes.
It's called Stranger Than Fanfiction by Colfer. And how was it, Taylor? Please explain to them, how was this book?
So first and foremost, I sold my soul to get this book from Denia early. And it was life.
It was more than life. It was death.
And then I came back and did it again. It's like I read it, it killed me, and then I read it some more.
It's so good. And what I like most about this book is how many real life examples it has, you know? And it gives you like the main character, like we know it's well, actually you're better at explaining what this book is about than I am.
Okay, so it got a lot of mixed reviews on Goodreads, and I haven't really seen it quite across the blogosphere, at least not the blogs that I'm following, but I have seen a lot of it on Goodreads, and I felt like it didn't really get the credit that it deserves. This book is mainly about a core group of people. Cash Carter is our main character, and he's a famous person, and on a whim, a couple of fans invite him on a road trip, and to their great and extremely crazy surprise, he shows up and he decides he's gonna go with them, and it kind of sends them on this trip where they had all these things planned that they were gonna do, and instead it changes their lives, and I think it changes their lives for the better.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say, Cash Carter, you get this point of view from a person that you might not know just because we're not famous. I just like that we get a perspective from a famous person because it's easy for us to judge since we're not behind the camera when it comes to the famous world. And I was explaining to her earlier about how you know, the people, like famous people that grow with us
With a franchise.
Exactly. While they are filming and acting, they have to grow tired of it. And this is actually what happens with this character too. Cash Carter grows within the show. It's just like I was explaining to you, like she mentioned Daniel Radcliffe. That's how he might have felt this way, like the way he feels, because he grew with filming Harry Potter. And at some point he happens to be so tired of the fame and of the push and of the, you know,
and everybody expecting you to be that character, and that's
exactly
something that Cash Carter talks about in this book, and that he struggles with, that, you know, when people meet him, they don't want to meet Cash Carter, they want to meet the character that he plays on TV. And I think that, like Dania said, it's really profound to kind of put you in that mindset, and it's got to make you wonder if maybe Colfer dealt with that a little bit,
exactly,
being on Glee for as long as he did, and maybe that's where some of this stems from, because I really did, it opened my eyes the way I think it opened Dania's eyes to, like, we don't really understand, you know, you always say, oh, they're famous, they deserve it, you know, they don't get to be angry, but I don't think that that's fair. And when you play a character for years and years and years, I think it's probably really hard in Hollywood to get cast as anything else.
No, and honestly, you get to see, not only it opened our minds, but it also opened the minds of the fans that he had, that he got to join on the road trip. He got to open their minds, you know. The character that Cash Carter is as a person is very different from the character that he plays in the show that he plays for. And it's honestly easy for us to judge them, as I said earlier, because we don't know what they go through, and then it's easy for us to be disappointed when we meet the actual actor of whatever show it is that we like, and then he's not the character in the show. When you hear like, well, excuse me, that's my personality.
And you know, we're even guilty of doing this, I think, not just us, but you guys also, to authors.
Yeah,
judging them for how they act at a signing. I was recently in a group talking to some people where the signatures were being discussed. Is it lazy if the signature is small, if you can hardly read it? Is it okay to feel slighted because an author wrote so small in your book? And or is that just not your place to talk about? You know, all these kinds of things. And I think the book world, the famous world, anybody who is in any sort of spotlight must deal with what Cash Carter dealt with.
And I feel like it's good for us to get that perspective, because we learn a lot. We learn a lot about how that world truly is, and how it can change people's life, you know?
Absolutely.
And so there's other 4 characters, and these 4 characters represent, I want to say, one part of the teen world, you know?
Absolutely.
I feel like
there was someone for everyone.
Exactly. And first of all, this is the squad that you want to have for life.
Squad.
Exactly.
Hashtag squad goals.
Exactly. And I feel like they get all together and plan a road trip and go on a road trip. I was like, oh Jesus, that's all I need in life. Like, who does that? You know, it's like so fun. And they are traveling all the way from Chicago, Illinois, if I'm not incorrect, all the way to California. So that is 2,000 miles, 2,000 some miles. And as soon as I heard this, I was like, I'm in. I am so in on this adventure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first character that we encounter is Topher. And he was the planner of
the road trip. He was the original OG fan for the show, and his group of friends, they're only friends because of this show.
Exactly. Well, they met because of this show.
Well, but they still think that they're they think that they're only friends because of the show. They think that without the show, what would they have in common?
Oh, well, makes sense.
And that's another thing that I really liked about the book, is I was seeing them build from realizing that the show doesn't tether their relationships to each other.
And then he's the one who invites Cash Carter to the trip, and to his surprise, you know.
Hello!
Hi, I'm here. Okay, so Topher is the character that has a family member with a disability, and well, his vice is to take care of his family, you know. He wants to go to this prestigious school because he's super smart, but the fact that his brother is disabled and somehow, he wants to stay at home and like help his mom take care of him.
Really wonderful and amazing that he would want to do that. And I love seeing that point of view, but it also gives you like a heart-wrenching feel, because you know that this character wants something so badly that he can't have.
And at the same time, it's also like good to see, because he's like extremely humble to like stop his dreams and like stay for his brother, you know. It's honestly really amazing,
you know, keep wanting to just be there for his family. And it's such a contrast to one of the other characters that we meet, who has a really different family dynamic, which I guess brings us into talking about Joey.
Wow, I like Joey so much.
Joey, it's so hard to talk about Joey though without spoiling your life.
No, I can say something. Joey has, well, his father is a pastor of a church. I'm going, you know, pastor kid. That's all you need to know, honestly.
He's a jock.
That's all you need to know. His dad believes in God, and everybody in his family believes in God, and there's something about him. There's something about him that is really important in this book. The only thing that three of these characters have in common, it's how they all have a secret. They all have like one secret.
All of them have a secret. Every single one of them has a secret that they're keeping from each other.
Exactly.
And Cash Carter kind of blows that up.
But the other character, it's Mo, and Mo is so interesting. I love Mo.
She is like, she is the hella fangirl. Okay, that is what, like, professional fangirl all day long.
She even writes fan fiction about them. And hence the title Fanfiction, because, you know, fanfiction.
Nothing is stranger than fanfiction. Except this book. And
honestly, the thing that I liked most about Mo was her overactive imagination disorder. I was like, girl, when she explained this disorder,
My name is Taylor.
This is Denia, and I am so in that disorder, girl. I am so in that disorder. I was like, girl, why? Why didn't I think of it sooner?
Right.
And I was like, girl, okay, you and me both have an overactive imagination disorder. Honestly, but hers went a little bit like
over the top. But it's like kind of what made her so perfect. And I don't write fan fiction, but I do write and I do read fan fiction. And so her character was just so like in my heart. She resonated so much with me.
Actually, if you read Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, it's kind of the same thing, but she gets more intense. She's like, oh, I'm killing you because this is all I want. Exactly. And she writes fan fiction about the character that Cash Carter creates with the
female lead character.
Yeah, with his co-star. And Dr. Bumfuzzle and Dr. Peach something.
So they're like the Peach Puzzles or something like that. I love it.
It's so cute. And she's like, yeah, I'm all over that. She's so interesting. She has an interesting personality. She's full of life.
And I loved her secret. Like, I don't want to give it away because you guys will eventually read it. But her secret for me was so like real life. You know, the other secrets were kind of extravagant and something that like maybe not everybody could relate to. But her secret was something that like like I think
Most
a lot
of the people,
a lot
yeah.
of people go through that, especially graduating high school and like moving on to college and deciding what you want to be
and with your
parental
parents,
expectations.
exactly.
And so she was really easy to relate to in that aspect.
And like her dad, it's like a very strict dad, you know what I mean? It's like what he says or what he says. And I feel like what she did at the end teaches us teens a lot of stuff, because we're like, oh, if she could do that. I mean, it's not gonna be easy, because it's not gonna be easy, but she still did it. And
Yes.
in the end, it's not like, because this is a book, it's gonna be pretty, you know?
No,
it
this
actually
was not pretty.
showed us how it actually went through.
None of this wrapped up peachy keen, in
Exactly,
my opinion.
like how you want a book to end, because you know they have certain expectations and happily ever after thing.
And it didn't. No, I think it had. You know, people keep saying that it's not realistic, but I actually think that it had a really realistic feel to it, a really realistic end. And as somebody who is not a teenager and hasn't been a teenager in a hot minute, old. I wish I had books like this when I was younger. I mean, I'm sure that there were contemporary novels, but the contemporary novels I leaned towards and that I read as a young girl, they weren't funny and hard at the same time. Like, I laughed my ass off and then I cried my face off during this one, and I feel like I was lacking that when I was, 15 or 16. The books that I read scared me. Good gracious, I read Go Ask Alice as a teenager and never did drugs, ever, because I was scared.
No, but it does help. Like, this book helps a lot when you're reading, especially for us teens, because it teaches you so much about life. And Cash Carter honestly is the smartest person on earth, because while he goes on the trips with these, he tells the truth to the people and he tells them in their face. I remember that once he was like riding in this like little car with Mo.
Yeah.
And he was like, girl, you just have to stop living to other people's expectations because you don't know when you're gonna die. And I was like, boy, here you go. Clap to that. Clap to that. I was like, that is so smart. And the reason that I realized why he was doing this was because of the spoiler in the end. I don't want to say it because of the spoiler. But I was like, oh, that's why he was saying it. It all makes sense. I was like, why are you like so pushing them to do stuff and whatever?
All ties together.
Oh, we still need to talk about one more character. Well, Sam is, for me, it's like such an interesting character. And what happens in this character's life, it's so important to a lot, in like a humongous section of the YA world.
And it doesn't get talked about a lot.
As much as it should be talked
And
about.
I mean, now it's getting to be a more widespread thing that's represented, but I've not actually seen it represented in a general contemporary novel where there was other things going on. Like, yes, it's important and it was an amazing part of the book, but it wasn't all about that. It was about so much more.
Exactly. And we find out that Topher has a crush on Sam, and it's so like,
it's so complicated.
It's
and
so complicated
great, and cute
to
and
like
innocent.
get into the characters like mind and see like how he's debating between all of the situations, like how Topher is finding about it, like how he's struggling to tell Sam about his crush.
But then Sam is going through stuff within anyway, and it just, oh my god, they're just, the whole time you just want to yell at them.
And also Sam, this character is so talented, like, again, you see, this is what I'm telling you, it's so bad for me to say that.
Sam is a designer and wants to go to, where?
Rhode Island.
For school.
For interior design school.
And make stuff out of like really random shit. It's awesome. Like hardcore, like just
trash.
Your trash is treasure.
Exactly. No, but it's like not literally trash that you throw from disposable trash. No. But like the trash, like all furniture or pieces of wood or like
refurbishing and turning it in.
Exactly. And the way it's displayed in the book, it's like so beautiful, and you're like, damn, I want that in my house.
Yes,
I want that in my room.
yes.
I want that in my life. You know what I mean? And there's a moment when this, like, talking about the secret that this character has. This character's talking with Cash Carter, and they're like in a roof or something, and then Cash is explaining to Sam how he feels trapped because people are expecting him to act as the character in the series, and then Sam explains to him that he understands. And the way Sam explains the situation that this character is going through. It's so amazing. And at the end when I finished reading that, I was like, oh my god.
I know.
You are so full of life.
I know.
Like, oh my god, you're true. Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Literally, I just loved every character in this book. I loved everything that it was about. I loved the funniness. There's some like marijuana smoking going on in one of the scenes, but it's like, but it was funny. It was so funny. It was so
It was
real.
funny. It was funny.
Real to me.
It was
I
funny
loved
until
it.
that moment, you know, until that moment it was funny, but then it kept being funny, and I'm like, how do you want me to be sad and funny at the same time? Like,
I
it doesn't
know,
work that way.
gosh.
But I laughed so much.
And then cried and then laughed, and it was the best kind of book. I had a book hangover. It was so hard to cure.
The thing is, and something else that I wanted to mention is that Chris Colfer is such an amazing author. I've never read anything as if things. Well, I did read the middle school series, but you know, I was expecting something like more children-ish for this aspect because I know he has the middle school.
And there was like cussing and
there's a lot.
It was
His
realistic.
writing in general, it was so good. And you're like, oh my god, a 5 out of 5 stars
God,
for him.
yes.
And the book in general has a 5 out of 5.
I'm just gonna make the stars rain
Exactly.
all over Chris Colfer.
This book was amazing. So please, guys, you've heard all of this good stuff talked about in this one. It's literally what all teen needs in their lives.
And even adults. I mean, as somebody who, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you book lovers agree, all of us, we want to be writers, and I'm sure a lot of you want to be writers. And this is inspiring for me even to know, like, to feel comfortable with that, to know that I can get up and I can do this because Chris Colfer told me I can.
And I remember that while reading this, I was like, damn it, I wish all the parents had this type of books because they will
then they know how to
understand the
understand their
situation.
children.
Exactly, how to understand
Goodness.
the situations because there's so many things that are going
So
on.
much.
And like all of these are going on in this world right now.
And it's so hard because I want to just say fuck it to the wind and do a spoiler review of this thing because I just want to talk about all of it. But if you've read the book, please leave some comments, talk to us about it, or go read the book and then come back and talk to us about it because we just want to fangirl with you.
Exactly, you don't understand how much we want to fangirl with you. But like this video, comment, like she said, subscribe, make sure to do all of that good stuff. Follow us on social media where we are always active.